2. We're live and good morning. We're how are you, Michael?
Very well. Shipping containers, the evolution, what they are used for, well, where they were, what you can use them for now, specifically related to real estate. I think just the way forward, they're being used in so many different ways. And this morning, along with Morning Minutes, you've got myself, Michael Burgio, Mark Novak, and Joe Calendar from 1300 Spare Box to talk about everything containers, on how it's used for tenancies, business owners, landlords. Joe, welcome.
Oh, hey, Joe.
Morning, guys. How you going? Welcome to 1300 Spare Box, guys.
Yeah. So you're in Melbourne, Joe.
Yes, as you can see, sunny Melbourne, nice and cold.
I think you got more blue skies in Sydney this morning.
Oh, is it? Oh, there you go. Lucky us.
That's for sure. Now, Joe, briefly tell us about your business before we get into the commercial applications of how it's going in real estate. So, what do you do?
Well, predominantly the business, the main headquarters is in Melbourne. We service the east coast of Australia, and we've got a presence in Adelaide as well. The main business is refrigerated containers, but obviously we don't just leave it there. We also do standard containers, which is your 20 foot and 40 foot, and specialised equipment. So yeah, we service everyone and anyone basically. The industry is quite diverse, and everyone needs storage basically. So,
yeah, and evolution of shipping containers, like how long, when did you see the shift or the trend? Like previously, correct me if I'm wrong, they were really just used to go on ships to transport. And then would you say in the last 10 years or so, it's almost like finding new use for them, and it's going to harness practicality of them?
Well, it hasn't. There's been obviously it's been quite popular for many years. So this is my second stint at this business, but I keep scratching my head wondering where all these containers keep going, but they just keep, there's just quite a demand for them basically. So yeah.
So what does it cost to buy one of these containers, Joe?
Well, the most popular ones are the 20 foot and 40 foot containers. The 20 footers, they'll vary depending on the quality and the condition, but generally between about 1,600 to 2,200 plus GST. And your 40 footers, you're looking at about 3,000.
And that's a lot of container.
Well, it is, yeah. So, obviously, if you've got acreage, the 40 footers are probably the ones that generally the farmers buy, and usually the metro areas are just your 20 footers are more easily to be moved around.
So that's really cost effective, isn't it? I think from the outside in, you probably wouldn't think it's basically under that sort of $3,000 to $4,000 mark that you can get one. And when you look at all the uses they're used for, it's a really good, it's really cost effective. What are probably the top users, or what are you seeing landowners or business owners use it for predominantly? Like what's very common?
Well, I'll give you an example, actually, because there was a gentleman that just came and saw us last week, and he owns a restaurant. And obviously, because of the COVID-19, he's shut that down. So he's taken the opportunity to do some refurbishment to his premises. So he's purchased a non-working refrigerator container, which is basically one of the ones up there. But it's a refrigerator container that doesn't work anymore, so we're removing the machinery, painting it, and he's actually going to be using it initially for storage for his furniture, but after the COVID-19 opens up, he's going to convert it into a cool room and a freezer, and then use part of it also for storage. So for him, it's quite versatile, and the cost for him was about $5,000 for the container. So it was quite cost effective for him, and it's an instant solution.
Yeah, and because even when you look at it from a restaurant point of view, they're generally renting prime retail space in busy areas, and 20 square meters, that can sometimes cost you $20,000 a year just to rent that space to store things. So for business owners out there, where you can get a container, probably store it where you maybe in a garage or a car space or a bit of a loading area, which you can keep it there long term, it's a really cost effective over the bigger picture than having a lot of stock.
Well, it is, and obviously the beauty about it, obviously he doesn't own the property, so if at any time he ends up leaving that premises, he's got the container that he's purchased that he can sell or move it somewhere else or whatever the case may be, and that's the beauty about it.
Joe, that's a question. How much does it cost to move one of these containers around? So, say this guy in the restaurant decides to, he decides to move his or just move the container like an hour away. How much would a pick up and a delivery an hour away cost if you're in like Melbourne Metro or Sydney Metro?
Sydney's a little bit more expensive, funny enough. Melbourne, for this gentleman in Melbourne, it cost him $260 to move it.
Oh, wow.
That's all?
That's all. It's not that expensive, no.
So the stigma or notion that it's just so expensive, once you get it, you leave it and it's there for good. It's not really true. $260 is quite feasible, even if you're moving it once a week or once a month or never, especially when you look at the cost of, say, having a retail space rather than the storage unit. It's not like you're saying, well, I'm saving in moving costs. It's quite effective.
Oh, without a doubt. Without a doubt. And that's why there's so many and that's why they're so popular. I'll show you one of these. This is one that we've done some modifications to. It's actually going to be used as a guardhouse along the train line. So it's going to be modified internally. So
a guardhouse, as in the guards the guards will go in there.
Correct. Yeah, correct. So they've got the viewing windows on each side and the PA door entry on the other side. And over here, there's going to be a roller door.
Amazing. So so the customer comes to you and you do the work, so you can take it from taking the order, customizing it to delivering it where it needs to go? Correct.
So yeah, for this one in particular, funny enough, all we've done is the cutouts and the hot work, and it's going to a social foundry. And what they're going to be doing is they've got some students or young kids. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you can zoom off your phone. We've got no visual there.
Yeah, we got you back. We got you back.
Yeah.
We got you back.
Sorry, guys. Yeah, there's a call coming through. But yeah, so there's going to be some young kids fitting this one out, and it's part of a government program. Basically, they teaches them how to do welding and carpentry and electrical and so forth. So that's what's happening with those two.
These things are unbreakable, Joe. These things seem like they're so hearty and they're so unbreakable, and they're just. How long would you normally get out of a shipping container? What's the life of a shipping container?
Oh, look, generally we pick them up, the second-hand ones, generally when they're about 12 to 15 years old. But
yep.
Look, there's no reason why they can't outlast you and me. Just look after it. It's simple as that. They're just.
And they rust out, do they? Or are they galvanised?
No, they're made of Corten steel, which is a mixture that, to some extent prevents a bit of rust. But look, maintain it. It will just last for a very, very, very long time.
And a lot of people use them for offices or almost like a granny flat accommodation. Have you seen a lot of that?
Yeah, there is. Yeah, like we did an office for the Cooree Medical Centre, and it was 2 40-footers where we cut the sides out of it, and basically it was delivered on site and connected together. And that was a quick, easy, and a cost-effective solution for them, basically. Yeah. And they're absolutely wrapped, so it worked out. It was just a very, very good solution for them.
Yep.
And
that would have been like, to make that room, like you're talking about getting a room to the size of 2 semi trailers or the size of 2 buses connected, and probably $3 grand connected, dropped $7 to $8 grand. They've just got this massive room.
Yeah, well they have, yeah, and once again the beauty about it is if it ever needs to be picked up and moved away or sold or whatever you can. It's very easy. But you can see, so these are some of the offices that we've done. I don't know if you can see those ones. that's sitting up too high. That's
Yep.
that's a little portable office. So it's got electricals, it's got air conditioning, it's fully insulated. So yeah.
All air conditioned.
And
tell me,
can you
sorry,
rent?
Michael.
Can you rent them if someone just needs it for 6 months? Do you offer that as well, or is it buy only?
No, we do. Obviously, the main business is hire. But, obviously, people do ask us about purchasing or modifying or whatever. So, yeah, they do. And, yeah, we can hire them out. So, it's an example for something like that office, you're probably looking at about $11 a day to hire.
What was that, $11 a day?
$11 a day.
Beautiful. And you got your own little office. Anywhere, any job site, any special events?
Yeah, well, that's predominantly what a lot of them go out to. It's like for events. We had those go out to Tenants Australia for the Australian Open, basically. And I'll show you another one that we've modified.
This is so cool.
Which is that one there. It's just got a
little window in it.
Yeah, so it's just got a little window. So, and to give you an idea, so this one's been modified. So that's basically the internals.
Aircon up in the corner. What's that vent down below?
Oh, this one's a little bit different. It's actually got skylights too.
Nice.
Yeah, so that's just ventilation. Yeah.
So you wouldn't feel silly sitting in there. That looks quite civilized.
Yeah, it is. You wouldn't, if you're sitting inside, you just wouldn't realise you're actually in a container. Yeah, for sure.
And Joe, these containers don't lose value either. So that's something that I've noticed in talking with you previously, that you can buy one of these and you can often sell it for more often than not, you'll end up selling it for more than what you bought it for because of the cost of steel.
Correct. Yeah. So an example of that has actually been in the last 6 months. So actually probably even less, probably been in the last 3 months, where brand new boxes we were selling for about $3,500, and now they're actually gone up to $4,500. So they've gone up $1,000 just in 3 months because of the COVID-19, not being able to get short supply. So, and traditionally they've sort of always been up around that $4,000. It was just a bit unusual that they were so low for a while, basically.
Yeah.
So,
That's unbelievable. So, Michael, where do you see you'd use this in commercial real estate? Like, where have you seen these puppies sitting around it? Look, the obvious thing you think about would be shipping, Michael. But where would you see them in real estate applications?
I've actually seen a really good one. It's in Arimba. It was a blank car park, and they got a 40-foot container, fitted it out as a cafe, and parked it in the middle, and then did like a drive-through takeaway restaurant, which was phenomenal. I'll see if I can find it. So I know there's that, but also just extra storage. Especially a lot of factories, they've got land, but they always need it covered area. And it's a lot. If you can store anything outside and still have your production line clean, neat, but really accessible, that's where I see it a lot. I want to find this.
And Mark, also, if you remember, a while back, I mentioned to you there was a business or a company in San Francisco, and what they were actually doing was they had a commercial site that they had land that was unutilized. So they actually had containers all modified into offices, and they were leasing them out for short term. So the customer had an access via iPhone, and they just leased them out on their site. So obviously customers or clients would come to their premises and just lease out.
I got bad wind there, Joe. I think it's wind in the background. But you're saying, just to repeat, you're saying in San Francisco, there was a great, phenomenal concept where they just grabbed a block of land, put a bucket load of sexy containers, and they was a serviced office community out of containers. Yeah,
that's right. So for them, it was land that wasn't being used, and they can generate an income by the containers in an office. So yeah.
That's sick.
What's the lead time to buy one? Like, are they Do you have to wait 6 months for it to be ordered if it's brand new? Secondhand, are they ready now? Like, what's a bit of a timeline if someone out there's watching is like, okay, I want to buy one secondhand, are they ready straight away, and brand new, do they have to be ordered and take a couple months?
We've generally always got containers on stock. Yeah, So yeah, it's quite. We had the Dandenong RSL club. They rang up for 2 brand new ones on Wednesday, got them delivered on Friday, and he was blown away. So it's not difficult. It's quite easy.
Yep.
So for anyone watching, 1300 spare box. If you guys want a 40-foot container or a 20-foot container in your commercial premises, Joe's the guy that can rent it to you. He can sell it to you. Joe, I'm very surprised how economical they are to buy it and that all set up would be just unbelievable.
It's easy. Yeah. And so it's quite easy. It's simple. And that's the name of the game, basically.
And then $300, to lift it and drop it to most parts of Melbourne or Sydney, maybe $300 or $400 if it's sort of out of the area, if it's rural and stuff like that. They've got a life. If you look after it, they've got pretty much a lifetime life in them, a lifespan. If you look after them even more, they'll probably outlast us if you look after them. Also, you can't break into these things. They seem like they're actually. Are they waterproof? These boxes?
Oh, without a doubt. I mean, this one here is just a brand new one. So,
that's waterproof, is it? So you're pretty much it's dry. Okay.
Oh, you wouldn't want to be stuck in it. Put it that way.
No. And then to break into them, once do people put like a padlock on it to lock them up? Do they?
They do. So for this one, for example, it's got a little lock box. So you just put that's the actual lock box. So you put a little lock in there, prevents anyone getting any bolt cutters to it. Basically, that's what that is.
Right. So the padlock goes up in below, and then you can't get bolt cutters across the padlock.
Yeah, but unfortunately, like in today's day and age, that there are battery handheld tools. Unfortunately, that if they spend a bit of effort, they can. But yeah, it is quite secure.
Where are they made? Do we make them in Australia, or are they made and imported in?
China, all out of China.
Okay.
Yeah, all these come out of China.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What were you going to say, Mark?
I don't know why this excites me.
Yeah, just possibilities.
It's just incredible. It's also something, Joe, that you just honestly, it's so obvious, and that people just don't think about. Like if I was moving house or something like that, it's literally cheaper, almost cheaper than hiring a truck. Where do you know what I mean? Like you could sit and off it goes, and you pack it and all that, and it's incredible. And for so what's that behind you there?
A little the forklift, yeah.
Like a big thing is a lot of people when they're looking to buy homes, they're always saying the garage is too small or they need extra storage room. It's almost like it should be you have a house, you get a container, stick it in the far back corner, then you opens up your garage to actually park your cars and have other stuff and just have one at the back and sort of use it as a bit of a feature. I'm sure a lot of people cover them, just make them look like they blend in and just got that extra storage rather than relying on a garage, which in most properties we go to is overflowing.
And you also find that we've actually currently got quite a number out just for customers that are refurbishing their house. So for a period of 2 or 3 months, they might be doing the floors, the kitchen, and we'll just put it in the driveway. They put their goods inside the container and do the work, and we come back and pick it up. So it's a great way. But also there's been a lot of interest. I don't know if you're with the likes of Kennard's self-storage and that sort of stuff. They're quite expensive because you're storing it on their site. So the options of actually having a container on your site is quite cost effective. So it's cheaper.
Yeah. Yep.
A hell of a lot more. And there's, if you're looking at $11 a week and you've pretty much got a semi trailer, a day.
That's for the office. So
that's
to
for
get
the office one.
So look, the 21, the one that's behind me, for example. So they start from $2.20 plus GST per day for storage to hire. Sorry, even a cup of coffee.
Yeah,
well, that's right. And then the self storage is going to cost you 100, like 200%, 300%, 400 more. It's going to cost much more.
Well, for the size of what this container is, it's probably 3 times the price per week. Yeah.
Oh, even more, I reckon. Hey, Michael, when you look at what people are paying in Storage Kings and Kennards and stuff like that, this is just so inexpensive.
Yeah.
Well, you're easily like $3,000 a year to buy one. You'll easily make that back. Like you'll be paying, even on the littlest storage, you're at least paying $50 a week, 52. Like it pays itself off in year one, basically. From what?
Well, it does. Yeah. Correct. Yeah.
It really does. Like from your cheapest storage, you're going to be spending $2.5 to $4,000 a year for maybe only 5 square meters, and then for a restaurant to be able to who it pays itself off in almost day 2 will get the value out of it. So it's really cost effective. No matter which way you look at it, you'll either get it paid off in day 2 or year 1, either way.
Yeah, and these are 33 square meters of space internal. So
so that's
quite large.
A 20-foot container is 33 square meters, and a 40-foot is 66.
Well, double. Yeah, it's double 66. Correct. Yep.
Okay. Because we used one of these, one of Joe's. We bought 2 of Joe's 40-foot containers. We bought 2 of them for an off-the-plan project that we had in Warriewood Land. We got them all signboarded up and everything. They wrapped them, actually. Michael wrapped them. Now,
yes.
after that project was sold out, the developer had a farm. He took both of them up to his farm and still owns them.
Yeah. And I don't know if you remember what he actually paid for it, Mark, but it was only around $3,000.
Yeah, it was.
And now they're 4.5. So he's
actually
not
made money.
only used, he's made money on them now. So yeah.
As Michael Edwards said, it's the ultimate man cave. It's so true. Like there's people who may not have the room in their house. There's no reason why they can't just go buy that for $3,000 or 4.5, fit it out, and they've got their own little area.
Yep. Yeah, correct.
And the only thing I would see that would local councils, if it's in a residential application, some local councils with residential wouldn't want them sitting around for a long time if a neighbour complained or something. Is that right?
Well, it is, Mark. Well, I can't answer that question or nobody else apart from the council. But look, it's each council is different, basically. So that's something that you would need to approach the councils and ask that question. But we've had quite a number where they've actually they've done them as man caves, surprisingly, and and the councils have been fine with it as long as they've made the application and they've been cool about it.
So you do. So do you feel? So it's not like a trailer. What's the clarification of them? It's not like a trailer that you can park out the front of your home or in your backyard. Do you still, in your opinion, do you need? You can't just have it in your backyard, can you?
Well, generally, what we say to our customers, look, if it's on your site, it's okay for a short period of time. For an extended period, you'd probably have to ask the council. If it's not on your site, well, obviously you can't, and you'll then need permission from the council. But look, every council is different, so you need to approach them if you want to ask that question.
Commercial, I feel it would be pretty do what you please attitude. Residential, very dependent on who your neighbours are. I feel majority wouldn't mind because it's only a metre above a fence line anyway. How tall are they?
Well, these ones are about 2.5 high, 2.6, and then obviously there's the larger ones which are 2.9 in height.
Yeah.
So they're just a little bit above obviously a fence line. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So I think it would be case by case, and everyone will know how their neighbours are. But more than likely, just have a friendly conversation with them. So you can do it and then leave it there. That's generally the best way.
Yeah, that's right. But commercials, I mean, obviously for commercial sites, it's understandable that, you know, you need extra storage and yeah, that wouldn't be an issue.
Hey, Joe, why wouldn't they make granny flat versions of these?
Well, you can. Yeah, look, and they, you know, they do. You know, there are accommodation units that are made, but, you know, you can, yeah, and it has been used for that sort of stuff.
66 metres squared for a granny flat. They can't be bigger in our area than 60 metres squared. So you'd turn part of it to a balcony, and then the 60 metres squared would be your accommodation, your bathroom. Hey Joe, you know, cruise ships have like a cassette version of these. They're not these containers, but that's how cruise ships are built, guys. They actually slot in all the modules. All the rooms get slotted in. So if you've ever been in a cruise ship, that would be about the size of one of your 20-foot container rooms.
Yeah, probably, it'd be roughly this. Yeah, you're right too, Mark. Yeah, they slot them in, don't they?
Yeah. So if you're happy with a cruise ship room, or if you're happy with a hotel room, that would be about 33 metres squared. And if you wanted bigger, that would be the 66 metres squared, and potentially you could get this fully approved and whack it into your backyard, and a crane just drops it in, bang.
Yeah, I love the granny flat idea, especially like with councils, because you do your normal approval, and it's just putting down the method of building. Like a lot of time it says that you're using bricks, timber. You just be saying I'm using container, and a granny flat normally costs 150,000. So you can pick them up for $3,000. Obviously, fitting it out could be 50 grand top to bottom, but it'll be a lot quicker because it can be built offshore and then shipped in, contained in.
A lot quicker.
Look, generally what I say to my customers, the containers are just the structure, the framework, and from there it's up to your imagination and how much you want to put into it and so forth. So, and that's why they go 2 or 3 or 4 high, because you can, because they're quite strong, and you can stack them too high. You can put rooms on top. You can put balconies on top. So, you know, that's the beauty about the containers.
Unbelievable, guys. Thank you so much, Joe. You're a legend for your time.
Thanks. Thank you, guys. That was great to tell you a little bit about us.
Anyone who wants to reach you, they can just contact 1300 Spare Box, have a chat with yourself or a staff member there to see how you can help them. Sydney, Melbourne, and Adelaide. If you're in those
Brisbane.
East
Brisbane.
Coast.
Yep. East Coast. Yep.
East Coast.
Legend. Thanks, Joe.
Thanks, guys. Thank you.
Thanks, Michael. Cheers, mate. Bye.
Cheers. Bye.